Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
Yes, we're all together. This is amazing. I have been waiting for this. Like, how long has it been that all three of us have been together?
It's only been 2 weeks.
Wait.
I don't know.
I think it just feels longer. You guys really missed me last week.
Because we were... Yeah, seriously. No, we were... Before Boston, we were... before London, we were in the office.
Yeah, that's why I said 2 weeks.
Was that only 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Meg, I don't like the way your mic is set up because like this thing's like right in your face.
Yeah,
is that better?
Yeah, it's like that's better. Now it's better.
I should tell everyone why I wasn't here last week, and you guys awkwardly just didn't say that.
Oh, I don't know. I was like, Thomas is being weird about it.
She was sold in black market.
It's not March 2020.
She had to find her way home.
I got COVID after what I felt like I had escaped for all the people who got it, and I thought that I'd never had it, and then boom, London showed up, and
I mean,
so did COVID.
Do you think you got it?
Maybe.
You had it for the race?
Right before the race.
Yeah.
I'm standing next to Megan, and I go, "You got a bloody nose,"
and she's like, you hadn't hit her. Nobody else did. She didn't get in a cat fight in the.
I usually wait till she's weakened by the marathon to attack her, but in this case, there's like a little blood right here, and I'm like, "Hey, you're bleeding," and she is like, "Oh, that's weird," and it wasn't like a gusher; it was just like a little bit of blood.
And so, like, looking back, I see all of these things clear, but when you're in taper, you just attribute everything that's going wrong to taper. Like, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm getting a cold. It's probably just the taper. Oh, I have a sore throat. It's probably just the taper. Oh, I got a bloody nose. It's probably just the taper.
My head fell off.
But I think now looking back at it, I'm fairly certain I had it for the race. At least the beginning part of it.
And then it went away and came back?
No, I mean, I did not feel right after the race, but then again, I'm thinking, oh, it's just because I ran a marathon. Like, that's why I don't feel good.
And you didn't have like super bad symptoms till later in the week, right?
Well,
Wednesday or something?
No, Tuesday was.
Luckily for the people
awful.
On the plane, when we got off the plane, we got to Baltimore. Like, it was a little chilly out, but Meg was like shivering, like she's like, I got to go inside and wait for the bus because for some reason the daily bus was like, there's one running that night, daily parking lot. And so Megan goes inside and I see her and she's just like, like shaking in the...
For those not watching, that was a shaking.
Yeah, shaking motion.
He's shaking his body.
And I was like, wow, maybe she's just really tired. You know how like when you get tired, you can just feel a little... Yeah. And so we got home and then pretty much you were laid out.
Yeah, for like the next 2 days were just like brutal. It was like fever, like all the flu symptoms, like normal stuff.
That's the first time I've ever, since I've been at Believe in the Run, known Megan not to actually work for more than an hour off.
And how long have you been now with Believe in the Run? We're like getting close. It's
almost 4 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be close to 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
and this is the first time that you've been sick.
And I think like really took downtime, like no running, no working, like legit laid out on a couch. Like I can't remember a time that I've done that other than when I was a child.
Could you watch Temptation Island?
What did you watch? You did catch up on something.
What? No, oh my gosh. On the airplane, I watched, so I couldn't get Wi-Fi, which was driving me nuts, even though I felt like... Because she couldn't work.
She wanted to work.
Well, I was like, I feel like crap, but I can at least like do like the things that don't really require thought. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't get the Wi-Fi to work. But they have like TVs on this plane and free television and movies. And they had the Sex and the City show, like not the old one that was pretty good, but the new one.
Wait, there's a new show?
Yeah, it's called And So It Begins, or
and so it was. Yeah, I forgot.
I forget it. It's like,
wait, is it the same characters?
Yeah, except for the one that's not in it.
There's people that wanted that?
It is the worst show I've ever watched in my entire life, and I still watched like 10 episodes.
I think that it's a bludgeoning hammer. Like, I've only seen like clips, but it's a bludgeoning hammer of wokeness.
Which is weird because Sex and the City is like basically the exact opposite of that.
Well, you're
like,
wondering
in the original
are
one.
they trying to like change history?
Like, are they trying to like make up for the fact that they're all rich white people like traverse? Like,
just
having a
bouncing around New York City, banging everybody.
It's 0 out of 10 recommend that show.
Okay, but it is kind of funny. I feel it's the same. Remember the Beastie Boys early albums? Like they were like, they talked about like women to cook and clean, all that stuff, and then they had to come out and be like, probably wasn't the best move for us, but they just made an apology, being like, hey, we were young, dumb,
right
dudes at the time.
This is like a full on.
We've grown up now. Like,
well, that's weird because the whole Sex and the City thing is like that's why people liked it, was because it was so like it was what it was. So you can't change the formula and have it be the same thing.
No, we've been told that what we liked before is no longer likable. But here's the thing: this is a running podcast.
Oh yeah. Was Mr. Big still in it?
No, he dies.
Do you not know this?
Oh, this is great. Tell him this.
He has a heart attack on the Peloton.
Oh,
and
way.
Dies
Like in the
first episode.
So, but wait, Peloton then hires him to do ads. At the same time, he gets canceled because some women say that he acted
Wait, that's a plot line in the show?
No. This just happened.
Thomas is in and out of the show here.
Yeah. Okay. So in the show, he dies on the Peloton.
Yeah.
Peloton then goes, we don't want people thinking.
Oh, that's right. People are
die
going to die
Peloton.
on it. Yeah. I do remember hearing this. Okay.
So he starts doing commercials for them. At that time in the commercials, these women come out and they're like, I forget the actor's name, Mr. Big or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, Christopher Knowles, I think his name is, or something like that.
Christopher Nolan? Just kidding.
Maybe.
No, that's the director of Batman.
Okay. Maybe he's the same guy.
I'll look it up.
Maybe that's the confusion. So women are saying that he acted inappropriately. He said he never did.
You're very close. Chris Noth or N-O-T-H.
Noth. That he gets canceled basically. So Peloton pulls those ads. He's persona non grata. Like, they just write him off. And the thing is that I don't think that he ever got a chance to really defend himself. It was at that time where it was too close to Epstein and what's his name? Who's the other guy, the producer?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, it's too close to that is just like, you're gone. You don't get to say anything.
But he was killed off, not like him getting knocked
that
off
had
the
nothing
show.
to do with it.
Okay, we need to start talking about running. This is ridiculous.
I do feel like he was taken off the show so that Miranda could then. Is it Miranda is the main character?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. What's her name?
Carrie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so that
how do I know this?
She's got to be able to date. What are you gonna do with a show where she's happily married?
That's true. Okay.
Now that we've lost all of our listeners.
Yeah.
So that's for the ladies out there and the men. Some men.
Yeah, there's probably people out there. Well, I think everybody enjoys when culture collapses on itself. So.
Yeah. I mean, I like to see things crash and burn.
Yeah. So we get back to what we were talking about was
London.
Megan with the COVID. Megan, who then got COVID as a result of being in close quarters with you?
It might have been you.
It was.
Oh.
Yeah.
And again,
hold on. I have to say, right before we get into that, I can't I keep looking at you and I can't take you seriously right now because
he's so dressed up.
He's dressed up with like a button-up collared shirt. Do you have your monogrammed initials there?
Wow. Monogrammed initials.
There we go. It's ridiculous.
I had something business to do that required more than a t-shirt this morning.
I didn't even know. I think I threw out all my like dress shirts. I have one.
Meg, how often?
What happens if you got to go to a wedding?
That's the one.
Okay.
I have one.
I have to say, when I came back from what I was doing and I walked in the house and Megan saw me and she was like, "Oh, you look nice, all dressed up." And I was like, "All right."
Anyways, all right. So continue about your COVID experience.
So I was always curious because we made it through the entire pandemic and we had parties. We had this
travel
headquarters was like jam packed.
We did
with
everything
people.
they said not to do.
Like we were just like, if we get it, we get it, whatever. And
the door was open.
I was always like, maybe I got it, and I'm one of those people that's asymptomatic. That's it. And
don't you want to feel like you're asymptomatic because it's like, oh, I kind of have a superpower,
right? And I felt all this time, I felt like I had a superpower because I made it through.
And maybe you did for the original COVID, but now there's so many strands.
I don't know the number anymore, but you go then from that to we finally get it, and I get hit, and man, it threw me for a loop. Like Megan said, mine hit over the weekend, So I was like laid out, and I kind of was
like
happy.
5 days after me.
I was happy that it was the weekend because I got out of bed. I took medication, got out of bed, went to the couch, laid on the couch, tried to sleep through the day as much as I could because I was like, my head was throbbing. It was the worst. And basically tried to sleep through the weekend, which I did a pretty decent job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I texted you to get a package for me, and you sent one of your kids there.
Yeah, he wasn't getting up.
Which, yeah, I was surprised you responded at all, to be honest.
Well, I had, like, here's what I had. I had fluids, medication, and phone right next to me.
Yeah. It sounds like you were hungover.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the worst hangover for 48 hours.
Yeah, it really was.
Did you think this was the end?
He did. He told me he was going to update as well.
I said, Meg,
not a bad
I probably
idea,
need to take a look at my. I mean, Meg's in good standing right now, but the boys are getting older and stuff, so maybe we should.
You could hold this over their heads. Which one of you behaves better? Yeah, that's pretty.
One other crazy point about the bloody nose. So
her bib.
After the race, we got back to the hotel and I'm like getting ready to shower and I look down and my bib is like red, like blood red. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how bad is my chafing?
Can we say literally blood red? I mean, her bib was covered in blood.
Did you think you like blacked out in the race and maybe did it like Jack the Ripper thing?
No, I thought that I had chafed so bad because I've chafed really bad like under my sports bra. And I was like, is it so bad that it's been bleeding and I'm going to like just die in the shower?
Yeah.
And so I was like terrified to take my shirt off. And then I was like, there's nothing there. And then I was like, oh, this was coming out of my nose.
Wait, while you were running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
So
you think I'm gross? Holy cow.
Here's Megan, disappointed with her 2:53 time. Meanwhile, drops it with COVID.
Wait.
It explains why like I really didn't feel right the whole time. At least that's what I'm going with.
I just can't get past this bloody nose. Did other people like? Are there photos of this?
It's weirdly not in the photos. I think it was.
And it wasn't like covering your mouth.
It's just like 2 hours and 53 minutes of just little like dripping drops.
This is crazy. I can't believe it. It wasn't like a dye on the bib or something. Like blood.
No.
Did you get tested for DNA to make sure it was yours?
No.
It would have been cool if it was somebody else.
Send it an inside tracker. This is an inside tracker spot.
Drop that in here.
No, but one of the guys that ran with us, I won't leave his name, but he puked like midway through the race, like was puking the whole time.
It was like 18.
And after the race, he used his like the goodie bag to puke in.
Like the drop bag they give you?
Yeah, it's like the clear plastic one.
Yeah.
Clear plastic bag. He was puking in that and apparently had a leak and stuff. Anyway, turns out he had COVID as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Or did he really?
Yeah.
This sounds like a haunted house, like the worst kind. Like you guys just like zombies and bleeding, puking exorcist style.
Yeah.
I feel like it sounds way worse than it was.
I'm glad I'm really glad I missed it.
Well, it was funny because somebody was like, when we were at Tracksmith and doing the shakeout run, it was a very small space they have inside, and it was packed with people, and someone was like, this is like a COVID factory right here.
I feel like that's just the world at this point, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I think COVID's here to stay. So
well, that's what I'm like. Is it so? COVID-19 was because it was 2019, right?
I don't think that's why. But
are you sure?
Yeah.
I think it's
is it
COVID the year.
No, because it was
Can somebody
2020.
Google that? No, it was 2019 when it struck.
This is
when it originally leaked from the lab.
And I think that's why they named it that. And then what was the variant called when, remember, we were like, oh,
I got it, Meg. I got you.
A new variant. Robbie's hand's all bloody because he fell.
You're actually right. I think.
The year?
I think you are.
Dude,
you are right.
I'm telling you, I'm Jeopardy champion.
He is.
Yeah,
I don't know why I question you on trivia.
So what is it called now? Is it still COVID-19? If it's mutated and it's a different COVID, what are we getting now?
I think it's just COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. Or coronavirus. The novel coronavirus. I remember that was like, because when I was writing about it, I had to look up the correct way to say
a
it.
novel.
Yeah. Sounds like a good book, like a thriller.
Novel coronavirus.
Wow, that's wild. I never knew the night. Oh, you know what? I don't like that. It's too easy.
So wait, so now like, is it COVID-22?
That's what I'm asking. He says now it's just coronavirus.
Like catch 22.
I do think it should go with a year now.
I mean, that checks out.
Like it should be. I had Corona 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that is crazy. I don't think it is COVID-22, but maybe.
Then it's like catch 22, but with COVID.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a live chart right there?
Sorry, maybe I have it. No, I actually did test the other because I've had this head cold, but I had it like the timeline didn't align with
that was
coming
my
in
whole
contact
thing. Like
with you guys.
I always thought that maybe didn't have it, and now that I've caught it, I'm like, okay, that's what COVID's like. So yeah, maybe I never had it. So I feel pretty cool that we made it all this time.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, that's got to be a record for how much we've traveled and stuff like that.
Well, I feel like, do you know that? What was that game? The show that was real popular that now my attention span's so short.
I like to think that
the one with they shot the people and
Squid Game.
Yeah, Squid Game. See, good at trivia. Can't remember things that happened yesterday. But Squid Game, I feel like that we were the doll was COVID, and we were like running across to get. We almost made it to the other side, and then we got shot with it.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Don't you think though? It's like we had good immune systems, and then
I do think our lifestyle is good for to protect.
But also, like, I was gonna say, I guess that applies to marathon training. Your immune system's kind of shot by the end of it, or weakened, I should say, just from the extra stress on your body. So it probably didn't help things.
Yeah.
But you're always marathon training, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a constant at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of training and stuff, can we move on to what's happening next?
Definitely move on.
All right. So we're heading up to New York. We're getting our training done. Meg and I, this is kind of weird training because we came off of London. I just started running again I planned on running on Saturday, but with the COVID hitting, I just waited and I finally got to run. 2 days ago, I started. I tried out 2 miles and it seemed fine. Then I ran 5 miles and everything feels good. We're ready to ramp up. We know that we're not planning on running this as like an A race. I'd be happy to run it, it kind of like a nice, easy pace where we have some fun, get to see all the people, do all that. So we're excited. We're getting back into training. And I'm super soaked.
Super soaked?
Whoa, busting out super soakers.
Yeah.
I think that we should for our shakeout run.
You were thinking of the run at Falmouth when it was hot out. People were shooting with super soakers.
Oh, that was pretty cool. But no, we're going to have a shakeout run. And it's going to be from that Fleet Feet that's in Columbus Circle, which is it's New York something powered by Jackrabbit.
It's like New York. What is it? Yeah.
It's Fleet Feet New York running store powered by Jackrabbit.
New York Running Company, I think.
Company.
Powered by
Well, and they're going to have like a pop-up shop within there, so I feel like it'll be hard to miss.
That name's like a Adidas or Skechers name.
It is.
So long.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that we'll be giving away some swag, New Balance swag, and there's something that's a limited edition, Believe in the Run, New Balance swag.
Oh, sweet. I don't even know about this. So that's cool.
You're going to want it so bad.
All right.
Yeah. People, it's decent swag. This is not.
Okay.
You're going to want to get there.
It's not one of those bags, those shoe bags that you put on the string bags that you carry stuff in.
It's not like that.
Those need to end, by the way. There's too many of them on Earth.
What do you think about the tote bags? Like everybody's giving out tote bags.
I don't know. What is this? Like, are we raising money for NPR?
I think it's that and maybe going to the beach.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah. Megan just showed Robbie what the little co-branded thing is.
I don't understand the tote bag thing. I thought that died with the 80s, like some stuff in the 80s, early 90s, but apparently like everything.
Well, what do you keep your yarn in?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. My yarn that knit my woolen blankets while watching Masterpiece Theater.
Things you don't know about Robbie was he was a huge Angela Lansbury fan. And
rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, and he was a big knitter.
I could never get into Murder, She Wrote. I mean, I was a kid at the time, so
I don't know anybody who was into it.
No, my grandparents loved that, and we used to watch it all the time.
So, yeah, I think probably the limiting factor there was that I was a kid. It wasn't that interesting to me.
I mean, I don't understand. She looked 90 back then.
That is the thing. Yeah, I was shocked to know that she was still kicking around. But
yeah, I was like, what? She died at 96. How old was she when she was doing the show?
That's the weird thing. Well, it's kind of like Indiana Jones because Sean Connery at the time was like 45 or something ridiculous.
That's insane.
Maybe even younger. And he looked like he was in his 70s then.
Yeah, he lived hard.
That's one of those trivia things, you know, in the movies, like Indy's only like 8 years younger than, like Harrison Ford's only like 8 years younger than Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah.
That is cool.
Very close in age.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Sean Connery's doing some crazy stuff.
so we won't be giving away a tote bag, but we have other stuff that you'll really like. I think there's like 3 things and that you'll be able to grab. Obviously,
it'll just be fun and we'll be there.
It's so much fun. So one, photo ops galore because we're going to be near Central Park, which is gorgeous. You're going to have Kafuzi, Drew Whitcomb, our team. Widefoot Jarrett is part of our team, but I'm going to mention him because a lot of you guys are like, where's Widefoot Jarrett? There he is.
He'll be there, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have Ashley Mateo. You're going to have Feathers, a.k.a. Megan Featherston from Featherstone.
And from
Nutrition.
the co-star of the Fuel for the Soul podcast
Yes.
with Megan Murray.
Yeah. Allison Staples, who's on our run to NYC. I mean, I'm going to miss somebody. I know. Oh, Laura McGreen.
Just Green.
Just Green. Still.
You got Mateo, right?
Yeah.
I know. That was the first.
Yeah.
Ronaldo. There's going to be a bunch of people. I think Mario Frioli.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if nobody shows up to this run, it's going to look like a big group run.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
it's
we
just
bring
us.
in everybody. Well, and the thing is that, like, honestly, I will tell you this. I'm excited to be just that energy, that day before marathon energy is so much fun with the shakeout because you're all nervous and that nervous energy is there. But when you're in the shakeout run, somehow when you're with everybody, you go, oh, yeah, this is for fun. Mm-hmm. And you start doing the little shakeout run and the conversation starts. And like when we were in London, we did it with tracks. My shoulders just dropped. Like I was like, oh, it's going to be okay. Like it's going to be fun. Like I can't wait to start tomorrow.
I mean, we also had 40 there who just like really brought everything to life and who was super fun and sounds exactly like Ricky Gervais. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man. Was he doing any British like
just
office
him
quotes?
talking, I was like, is
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais here?
No, he doesn't do that. But he's very animated. He's a good dude. Like I want him to be our European correspondent. Like if he was the Daily Show, we could throw it to 40 over in Europe to give us an update. That'd be pretty good.
Quick question: why is it hot in this office for the first time ever?
I think
Am I making that up?
You got
I'm
the coat.
comfortable.
Maybe you got the disease.
No. It's like it's not a disease hot.
You're also wearing
It's
a
like
sweatshirt.
I am wearing a sweatshirt, but usually
It's freezing down
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
I guess it's a combination of that and drinking coffee.
I think we turned off the air conditioning, and it's in those temps that are right between.
Oh, that's what. Okay,
Like we're in that weird
the
temps.
air's off.
Yeah. All
So,
right. I was
yeah.
just making sure I wasn't imagining things or.
You're
I'm
good.
comfortable though.
Okay.
Yeah. So hey,
I just keep sweating.
we kind of breezed right past because we went from London to New York. A little race just happened in between called Chicago.
Oh yeah.
World Major. No big deal.
Chi-town.
We know a few people who run it. Almost everybody I know had a great day. There's a couple people that ran it backwards where they started off really fast and then
What do you mean
finished.
90% of the field ran like that?
But one person ran it pretty amazing. Meg was giving me a stat for Emily Sisson, who is now, Kira D'Amato had it. We love Kira. I think this is good fuel for her to come back and maybe take another stab at getting the U.S. Record back. But Emily Sisson got it. We don't know Emily as well, but I'm sure we'd like her if we got to meet her.
We've had her on the podcast. She's great. Very
I know,
nice.
but we don't have, like, Kira we've seen several
Yeah.
times. We hug Kira. I've never hugged Emily Sisson.
She wouldn't know who you were if she saw
Yeah,
you.
she would run right by us and be like,
That's
"Yip, yip."
probably most people.
Yeah.
Okay, so Meg, tell them about the fastest halves this year.
Okay, so Emily Sisson broke the American record in the half marathon earlier this year.
Right.
So she owned that. And she was on the Sidious podcast, and they were looking at the top 10 half marathon times by American women this year. And Emily now has, obviously, the top spot from earlier. The 5th spot and the 7th spot are her first half and second half of the Chicago Marathon.
Wow.
Which I don't think you can count, but
You can. It's crazy.
I think you can count that.
Yeah.
so if I go out and run an amazing half and then blow the F up
Yeah,
in a
dude.
marathon, I get to say my half PR
Yes.
is this.
Yes.
Yeah, because
you should have done that on a.
Oh,
you should have.
my first New York was
actually. I don't know because it's not a race scenario, so it's like you didn't cross a finish line.
No,
I mean, I guess if you're doing it just by distance,
I think it's and
that's
also,
not official though. Like that's not an official thing, right?
Like I don't think that could count towards.
It could be official because if it's a race, if it's in an actual race and she crosses a half marathon timing mat, then that should be official.
Yeah. Also, she clears the air. She was wearing the SC Pacer with fuel cell.
Okay. I have questions about that.
Well, let's just say this. Fuel cell comes in a lot of different formulations. SC Pacer has an upper.
So I don't know if it was modified or not, but it looked like I just can't imagine running in the Super Comp Pacer for a marathon. I know it was like 5 years ago that was a shoe that everybody could run one in, but
I mean the stack height didn't look the same to me in the pictures.
Yeah, and I looked at the World Athletics like the list for last week. There's no protos on the list for New Balance.
Right.
So it has to be the Pacer.
It has to be the Pacer.
It has to be the Pacer.
So I don't know. I just can't imagine running a Pacer.
Can
for
I
a
just
marathon
say?
Distance.
Okay, I can't say anything. It has to be the Pacer. It has to be. It better be. It better be the Pacer.
Because then, if it's not, then there are some interesting things like with. And I wonder if anyways.
Well, we know she was wearing a proto for the half because that was listed, and
there wasn't a proto. There weren't any protos on.
Meg knows her half shoe intimately.
I do
for when she broke the half.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. For this race, there weren't.
I'm gonna put it to you this way: my thought process has changed in the last 6 weeks. That I don't think any of the pros are running in anything that is off the shelf.
I mean,
maybe. I can't say that. I'll bet you Kira D'Amato just gets a box of Vaporflies and Alpha Flies, and she just runs in them.
And sticks with V1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, seriously, there's not some like slight tweaks to the midsole foams and things like that are going on for the elite athletes.
Yeah, and I gotta say that it might also depend on the athlete. Like if you have a very high maintenance athlete who's very into their shoe gear and shoe technology, maybe they're a little more.
Like you're telling me Iliad doesn't have a custom shoe?
That's what I'm saying.
He definitely does.
It's not off the shelf Alpha Fly.
He's got little wheels on the bottom of his.
That explains everything.
How cool would it be if you saw him running and there's like a little glide every.
I mean, there basically is.
And then
that's why he's smiling.
He pops out the little wheelies at mile 20.
Yeah. And then he like grinds a rail.
I would love it.
Remember the soap shoes?
Yeah,
those are wild,
dude. The Heelys.
Yeah, Heelys.
Yeah. Have you seen the guy on Instagram who has a Heely account?
Yeah, it seems like he's loving life.
I was really into it for about a week, and then
it's one of those things that's like, oh, this is cool, but I don't need to see this every day.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you're gonna lay on your stomach and spin the wheel.
Yeah,
thank you.
Anyways,
so we talked about Thomas and my COVID situation. Robbie, how was your training?
I don't really want to even. This has been a pure week from hell, so it's like
normal.
I mean, it can't be worse than our COVID situation.
No, physically no, but just like it's just like I'm trying to think of everything. No, I mean it's obviously we're always busy, and then there's just things like my computer's being weird and stuff like that. That's limiting everything. So that's like I've been getting horrible sleep. So I've had a cold since Saturday.
Yeah,
horrible sleep. Like last night, I was finally actually getting good sleep. Took some CBD, knocked out. The kid wakes up screaming for yogurt at 2 a.m. So I don't know if he's having
the ice cream for ice cream. It's ice cream for yogurt in his house.
Yeah, but I don't know like why. I think he was having a dream or something, and then I was awake for an hour. Couldn't go back to sleep. Watching just like I know you're not supposed to watch stuff, but it actually does get my mind off. So I was watching Theo Von's comedy stand up. So that was pretty good. And then
speaking of comedy stand-ups, he reminds me of you, and now I feel bad for you. But David Spade, he did a stand-up.
Don't feel bad. He's like one of my favorite people?
No, he has a new stand-up.
This is why
is it bad?
It's
Robbie, I wanted to laugh,
no.
and I couldn't laugh. It's like seeing your uncle come out, and he's like not funny anymore.
Yeah,
and he's like out of touch.
Oh man,
and like it was
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like looking at it, I was like, I don't want to remember you this way.
Now I have to watch it, but yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be in the same boat.
You're gonna regret it.
I mean, I'm worried that I bought the Blink 182 tickets, and I'm like,
wait, they're already on sale?
I was able to get them, yeah. And then I don't know how, because they were supposed to go on sale on Monday, but I really want to see Turnstile.
I can't wait till I look at the
Same.
tickets and Thomas got them like somewhere else. It's like not gonna be Baltimore.
Oh, that'd be classic Thomas. Guys, pack your bags. We got
Going to California to see Blink 182.
Yeah, but like I'm afraid. Like I don't want to go see Morrissey because I know if I go see him, it'll taint the way I feel about it when I was 16, 17.
Interesting.
So, but anyway, I totally derailed that. And
yeah,
watch the David Spade comedy thing just so that you can understand that. Like I didn't even get a chuckle.
Oh man, that is the worst. Yeah, so I've been just kind of, I didn't get much running in because I was just like wasn't getting any sleep. I was like, well, I gotta get sleep. Like I'm not gonna run on 4 hours of sleep. Wake up early or whatever. And then I'm not even gonna talk about this morning's run because it's like
you have
to.
You have to. You got bloody knuckles.
I really don't. Yeah, and it wasn't by chucking. Remember that game at school where you chuck the quarters at your knuckles and get them all bloody?
No.
Oh.
That must have been the kids who didn't have other games to play.
Where you have the quarters with your thumbs and you flick it real hard and then put their knuckles on the table?
We didn't do that.
Oh, okay. Anyways, we should do it sometime. It's good.
It sounds horrible.
But I mean, it was just, I was in Fells Point running in like kind of a high stack shoe, that 361 shoe, which
he said is nice.
It's pretty nice. The grip on it, not good, and it was raining this morning. Yeah, I should have been wearing Puma grip. And so there's like bricks, you know the bricks in Fells. Like I had tweaked it just a little bit crossing the street at that one light.
Yeah.
And I was like, like it's fine. Like it wasn't like totally fine to run on and everything, but just like
a little bit. Like the scary one where you take a deep breath in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like my foot went in between the bricks and kind of like didn't feel great. So then like half a mile down the road, I'm on Boston Street and along the sidewalk. And again, there's like bricks on the side in between the sidewalk and the street. And there's like it's like uneven. I don't know why it's everywhere in Baltimore. It's uneven. It's freaking sidewalk in Baltimore. So it's like, it's literally like trail running just a little bit.
Well, that's why the Prime X, the original version, was so hard to run in Baltimore. There's not like a flat stretch.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're literally running along the water, that's the only place. Even then there's some spots, but so I was trying to cross the street and I'm like looking at the traffic and just like hit that very uneven spot, boom, on the ground. And so the word is a triple punch. It was roll my ankle in front of a whole line of cars.
Okay, so was there like a the guy from The Simpsons that popped out?
I felt like it. Someone was definitely
Nelson.
Dude, I would have been laughing in my car. And so then
I ask you what you were wearing
for clothing?
Yeah.
Like a Tracksmith t-shirt or whatever, which by the way, not good to wear in the rain. It was so heavy.
Okay.
Then those YMR compression shorts.
Okay.
And
just trying to get a mental picture of you falling in front of a line of cars.
And the white Believe in a Run hat.
All right.
Yeah, I look like a
You're
dainty
visible.
runner. And then then I was covered in mud because it was all mud and like puddles where
Which could kind of look cool.
It wasn't. And then I cut my hand all up, like sliced my fingers up. My one bandage just came off.
Oh, jeez.
Where'd that go?
Okay. This
Tasty.
will be a fun
So,
game.
dude, did Ralphie eat it? Do you think he did?
No.
Oh.
He's over here, passed out.
I'm just saying I can't see it right now.
We'll find it.
All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, we got to measure this room, by the way. Speaking of.
So anyways, and then I was still like a half mile from my car because I took the kids to school and then ran from there. So I had to basically like walk up that long hill to top there, and then just it's pouring rain. But the whole time it's pouring rain. Absolutely.
Did you cry at all?
No, I tried, but I think there was nothing left. There's nothing left inside.
Because when it's raining out, nobody can see it.
Yeah. Well, my hand's bleeding everywhere, so I was like, washed it off in a rain spout, which I don't know if that's good or not, but
We'll
I was
find
like at off someone's house, So it was just, man, it was a bummer though. I think it's salvageable. Like I don't think it's the worst roll ever. Like I'm doing New York, no question, and I think I'll be fine to run this weekend.
Yeah.
But
What is the time limit on New York? Like if you had to walk it?
Like typical. Like
I'm not
8
gonna
hours.
walk it, but if I have to ultra marathon it, like I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah,
It's happening. I mean,
I will get hammered though if that's the case.
Oh, that would be
like,
amazing.
No
like
joke.
During the race.
I might not come back. I might just
All right.
end up in
We'll
Queens
just be
for
like
my life.
when Kimmy's waiting for you to finish, and we'll be like, he's just there now. He's out in New York City.
Yeah, I might just be. This is my home now.
Yeah. He'll be the legend.
Yeah, I'll live with
Remember
the
that guy who never finished New York? He's still out there.
That would be cool.
Yeah, and we'll give you a GoPro, and you can
where's
just check in
Waldo?
every once in a while.
We'll have a Robbie live feed.
Yeah, it'll be like in a tent city with the garbage
You
cans.
have to figure out where I am just based on my footage.
Yeah, we'll send out a tracking team.
It's like, how people watch the wildlife now? That's a big thing. They watch like the birds. It'll just be like a Robbie live
cam. Robbie cam in New York City. I will tell you, somebody gave me a great idea though. So like, how you don't want to run with your phone or something. You know those little Apple AirTags?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I run with an Apple AirTag. My buddy has the tracker on his phone, and so he knows when I'm going to cross the finish line or where I'm going to be, and he can like.
Wait, the AirTags have GPS
Yeah.
crap abilities built in?
Yeah.
It follows
That's
you
the whole
exactly
point.
where you are.
So like the reason I got an AirTag originally was my
Put it
youngest
on.
wants to ride his bike around the city, and he doesn't have a phone, so I don't. Like, how's he going to call?
I
me
didn't
if
know.
there's a problem?
I thought they were just like in your
so
house or something.
You can clip them. You can clip them to the kid and track exactly where it went. That's why when it gets all weird because if,
that's right. I remember people were like dropping them in people's
Yeah.
purses
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
But-
I only did that like twice.
it's a great it's a great way to track somebody in the marathon who doesn't want to carry their phone. They can
Yeah.
just put a tag in one of their little pockets
Yeah.
or put it on a carabiner.
Carabiner.
I love saying carabiner.
I can tell. It's weird.
That's a good word actually because the spelling is perfect too.
It's
One of my favorite spellings.
okay, homage.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
How do you spell homage?
It's just HOMAGE. It shouldn't be. It should be homage.
Yeah, or fromage.
It's say the croissant one and then
Yeah.
say it in the pretentious way.
Croissant.
Yeah, get out of here with that. So if a normal person says it to me, I'm like, you're out of my life.
I'm going to put on my Adidas to go get croissant.
Don't even say it if you're in France. Don't even say that.
Croissant.
Yeah,
Be like, give me one of them crescent rolls.
I bet the waiters there hate it when Americans come over to say that.
I think they just hate America.
When you ask for milk in your coffee, they hate it.
Yeah.
They just anything that you do that they can figure out they don't like.
I get it.
Okay, we should talk about this shoe that we got here.
All right, here's a problem with this year.
Too many good shoes?
It's not. Well, there are a lot of good shoes, but we're getting a lot. I know that this shoe and another shoe are coming
Late.
that are monumental shoes for our best in gear. You think about it, Robbie. You know what the other
This
shoe is.
shoe and another shoe.
Yeah, there's another shoe.
The
You may or may not have done a small article for.
yeah, really? Best in gear?
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
You're
boy.
confusing him.
Anyway, it's
Okay.
coming from ASICS.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Tracksmith one.
They're both coming, like the ASICS one's dropping in December.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a 2022 shoe. This one we just got. I know it came out in Europe a little bit
for
ago.
people who are listening, what do you have
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot this is a show where they can't always see. It's the Puma Deviate Nitro 2.
With Nitro Elite foam in it.
And
Fancy.
it's got a carbon infused plate. It's got, the upper's nice. Like, I love everything about this. The only problem that I've seen so far in this shoe is the toe box is a little tight.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, for mine, I felt like the toe box was a little tight.
I haven't run in it, so they sent me a size 8, which was like a size. It was already big, so it was like way too big.
The Puma grip on it. Oh,
yeah. I mean, we always
you could use this on a trail. I think it's like got enough bite.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I think you need to get it though, Robbie, because this reminds me a lot of the Saucony Endorphin Speed, which I know you love.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what when she told me that, I was like, I need Robbie and Megan to do, because both of you guys love the Speed.
Okay.
And if this gives you those vibes of between two shoes of this with you, since I consider you our utmost speed connoisseur.
Yeah.
And
I would try it.
And Megan loves the Speed too. So I think we need to get it on you, do a between two shoes. The crazy thing is, while this hasn't really gone on sale yet in the US, over in Europe, it's already on sale. Like, not just on sale, purchasable. Wow. It's like
it's not on sale in the US?
No.
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
But in Europe, like when we were in London, you could get this. It was on the shelves, and they're already discounting it.
How does that make any sense?
I think it's getting a lot of positive feedback, as I think it should. The updates, I think, are pretty solid. They added that extra padding around the heel, which people had a problem with in the last version.
You had heel slip, and
the rubbing,
and the rubbing, and now it's got a more traditional heel collar and foxing setup. Foxing is a term that I'm gonna start using.
Okay, no,
nobody knows what that
means. They also added their power tape, which is like their thing this year.
Yeah,
it's basically just reinforcements on the upper, and
their power.
It's a comfortable shoe. I like the colorways they're doing. They're fun. They're bright. It's
I have the white version, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah. The white one's the best one.
And I do like this flame color. But the thing about it is Robbie, when I first tried it on, I was like, wow, it's going to feel a little too soft because the foam feels soft. But with that plate in there, when I started running, it's nice because you get that nice squish and then the pop.
Wow.
So it really is. I would say this is the first shoe that makes me go, Nova Blast 3 was undisputed top shoe for me this year for daily trainer, and this one I'm like,
that's crazy, man.
I
didn't realize it was that good. I have to try it.
I feel
I'm not leaning that way like Thomas.
For me, it's a closer call than I thought.
Wow.
But
okay, I'll try it.
Yeah, you got to get it. There's another shoe that I think looks exciting that you just got. It's that North Face trail shoe.
Oh yeah, I think it's still under embargo, but it's actually North Face is dropping the new Vective series. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, and it has like a supercritical foam.
Yeah, it's like they were the first to market kind of with the plated trail shoe, but it was like a dud, just didn't work, and I think they might have figured it out. But that's a cool thing.
It kind of, when I saw the picture of it online, it looked like a dad shoe.
Yeah,
and like it looked like almost like a what was it, the
Nike Monarch?
The Monarch. But then I saw it in person. I was like, wow, this is a pretty shoe.
Yeah, of course it's white, so we'll get wrecked on the trails immediately. But
I love that though. You go out on the trails,
whatever.
Have a dirty. I mean, what shoe is going to look? Right. What color looks great on trails after a couple of runs?
Yeah. Anyways, so
maybe the Norda with the white.
Yeah.
This week's guest, Thomas, you interviewed.
Yeah.
We do have to put a little disclosure in this one. Unfortunately, the audio is not perfect. Because
the audio on his side is better than it is on our side in the studio, which it's probably my fault. I think I hit the record button on the console, and then I hit the record button on the computer, and then went back and hit the record button one more time on the console, and pretty much stopped. So you're getting the audio from me through the computer, which is not the best. It sounds like I'm like in Mars or circling the Earth. But
yeah, so just I guess that's a good way to deal with it. Just imagine that.
Yeah,
the transmission is coming through.
Space station. Imagine I'm on the space station, International Space Station.
But it was the thing that sucks is that it was a really good conversation, right?
It is a good conversation. You know, it kind of made me rethink some of my thoughts on shoe development, shoe testing, stuff like that. I think you'll find it interesting.